Good morning, Modern Steaders. I must admit, I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm a little sore this morning from cutting down all those apple trees and looking at all through the snow. So today we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna do another project that needs to get done. Can't wait to get that area cleaned up, as I was talking about in the previous video. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to it right here. It's a bittersweet to be cutting down the apple trees. It's bitter because we're really hoping we could do stuff for the apple trees, but it's really sweet because the new project that's going to be going on up there, making our homestead more productive. Once it's all done, you guys will see, and I think you'll agree, it's really going to make the homestead nice. Tanner, I had those sticks put in brush piles. Not for you to go get out and lug them off and chew on them. Oh, Tanner and his sticks. We're supposed to be getting 3 inches of snow today. That wasn't in the forecast. When I looked yesterday and planned on the plans for this week, there was no snow in the forecast. So it's gonna kind of put a little bit of a hiccup in our day tomorrow. Right? You been rubbing your head on the red paint in the barn, little man? You switched sides there, little man. Yeah. Oh, you been rubbing your head on the plywood? That's the worst part about having a white goat. Everything shows on them. And goats, they're always jumping around and getting into everything. Come on, girls. Come on. It's nice and warm in here, girls. Tricked you a little bit and traded it up, huh, on you. Go ahead, get going. Mixed it up on you this morning. I'm gonna feed you on this side first. That's something different too, huh? Keeping you ladies on your toes. There you go. Enjoy. You know your chickens are getting enough feed when they don't eat all of their afternoon portion. I know, we're gonna fix this today. That's our project. Don't knock it over. Maverick, Goose, Moose, morning, sir. Alright, we need to open up our chicken coop guard and fix it. It was my mistake. I need to make a little roof to go over here to keep the weather off of the door and the rope. So we had rain one day, and then that night, or is it the next day? Either that night or the next day, it got Moose. I'm trying to talk here, dude. It got down to like 23 below zero. So I know what happened is the rope froze up. So it was 20 below zero and the door was frozen, and I wasn't attempting to fix it at the time. So what I did is I undid the rope, and then I'll show you how the system works inside. If we have to, we'll take it to the shop. But let's see if we can repair it right here. And then we gotta make a roof system to go over here. All right, so see, right here, we got jammed up because of all of our ice. Just be better off taking it in the shop and working it on the table. Yeah, let's go bring it in the shop. Take a few more screws out, and if it wasn't so chilly out this morning, I'd do it out here, but I'm gonna go bring it on the workbench. No need to freeze. Don't worry, that door is a different project. No videos on that one. I think we've done enough doors lately. All right, let's get this down here. Take that off. So this is our remote for the door. Then we got to plug it into our motor. And then we just got a little bit of a jam going on right here that we need to free up. Cover off. There we go. So what happened, bam, is we jumped, and I'm sure this was all covered in ice. There we go. That's it. That's all it was. Oh, ice, ice. Oh, when it's 20 below zero outside, or anything below zero, it just creates so much havoc on everything, especially if you get rain before and then it freezes up. So I mean, it's all it was is it got wet, bound up in there, and easy fix. I love also being able to look to see how something is made and works. Like, I mean, this is such a simple design, and it works so good. So you can either set it to time or solar. So like daylight for the door to open and close, or both. You can have like a backup. Probably while we're in the workshop, let's make our roof system. Actually, no, let's not. Let's go back out, install this, we'll measure, and we'll make our roof system big enough to go over this, but also big enough to go over the whole opening of New York City, and we'll get it to cover some of the ramp. Some of our issue is our ramp gets covered in snow. So if we can make a roof system to cover up this and part of that ramp, man, the chickens will love it. And it'll make it easier on us too. One trick when you're dealing with little screws and you can't get them to stay on, do this. That'll hold it in place while we get it started. Bam. Instead of getting frustrated and to keep losing your screws all the time. I like it. All right, so before we go outside, let's get this all set up in place. That goes in there. This gets plugged in here. So black on top, red on bottom. Boom, boom. I got our kindling ready for tomorrow. It was all covered in ice and snow yesterday, so I loaded up the back of the mule, brought it in the workshop, and it's been defrosting. I tilted the bed up just a little bit with a 2x4 under the bed, so that way when the snow and the ice melts, it just comes right down here, and this should be nice and dry. All leftover building scraps from building the barn and the firewood shed. You guys have still got food left. You can't be telling me you want more food. I want to put a roof over it and have it extend out maybe a little bit further. The nice thing is it's just a string, so for me, like when I had the issue, I just cut it with my knife, and they give you more than enough than you need, so you can repair it a couple of times. So 6. If we were just going to protect the chicken guard and rope, we could just do a small little roof, but I'm thinking if we go a little bit bigger, we'll be able to keep some of the snow and ice off of their ramp. So I'm gonna go 10, 16, 20. All right, we'll be back, ladies. Luckily, with all of our building projects we've been up to, we got a bunch of cut off 2x4s. So this one in half. Most of the time when I'm building, I just have a project in mind, and then I go around and see what I have for lumber and see how I can get the lumber I have on hand. So I'm usually building it in my head as the project's progressing. These 2x4s, I'm gonna rip them down to 1 3/4 inches so I can get 2 out of each 2x4. We're gonna need 4 of them cut at 16.5. When I'm working with small pieces of wood like this, I like to pre-drill everything. If I don't, that's usually when I crack everything. That'll make a nice rugged frame to start with. nice. Set this over here right in front of the heat. Get that glue to dry a little bit quicker while we get the roof material cut down. Oh, it's already snowing out. We have a little bit of corrugated plastic roof left over. Perfect. Oh, they always got to put these darn stickers on there too. Usually they don't like to come off. Ooh, maybe. Came off better in the cold. Woohoo! I like that. That'll work. I found the best way to cut this plastic roofing material is with a grinder or a skill saw with a metal cutting blade. That was easy. Get our bit, and then after we have our awning attached, 2 8 screws, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I hope we made this so it fits. Awesome possum. Keep this flush. Oh, that'll be nice and sturdy. It'll give the ladies a nice spot to hang out under. I'll get a bar so we can clean that up first. Snow is really starting to come down good now. There. That's gonna have to do for now. But I'm hoping by putting this roofing on, this will help contend off. Probably won't be till next year, but snow on the ramp. Or at least any more this year. Alright. Let's get this door working. There, the chicken guard's all set up. I gotta go in and warm my hands up. And then we'll be back to put the roof on. It'll be a jiffy for you. We warmed our gloves up on the wood stove. Oh, that'll keep the hands nice and toasty. Those heated gloves feel nice. Let's do this. Oops. And being plastic corrugated roofing, you have to screw on the valleys. We get a lot of people commenting that you need to screw on the peaks. It's not very strong, so you can't. If you screw on the peak, it would just break it. There. That should help keep the snow off quite a bit.
All I can tell you about what we're having for supper is it's soup. I can't say it's chicken soup because I'm gonna use some chicken and I have a leftover pork chop, so I'm gonna cut that up and put the rest of the pork in there and some chicken, and then I have carrots and some potatoes. I have broccoli and cabbage and probably throw some corn in there. My soup is never the same. Whatever we have, whatever feels good at the time. I have some homemade broth in the fridge.
Come walk with me, feel the breeze. Come walk with me, oh, and dance. Come dance with me, shuffle your feet. Come dance with me, and I will tell you when you're older how I loved you just the same. It only matters where we're going. It never mattered from where you came. When life, it gets you down, steals your crown, and breaks your will. Oh, life, I'll pick you up, brush off the dust, and hold you still. I will tell you when you're older how I loved you just the same. It only matters where we're going. It never mattered from where you came. And go to sleep, my darling. Oh, the night is getting darker. You can dream of.
Hope this year we can grow some good cabbages. So colorful.
Goodness, I hope this is good because it's raw.
It better be tasty. We got enough to last us all week. Boom! Right into the gate there, Pluto.
Knock off some snow for us.
Right. You ladies finally eat all your grain. Whoa! Holy moly, look, your crop is full. I know you got plenty of grain in there, honey. And then here comes your treat. Moose is like, I'm gonna wait for the grubblies.
Here you go.
Maverick, Goose, how many eggs you think your lady friends laid for us today, huh?
I think they laid DAs.
DAs?
How many do you think they laid?
I'm gonna say 12 because yesterday we got 10. Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
I was gonna say ocho. Uno, dos, cuatro.
Uno, dos, tres,
Yeah, I know,
cuatro.
but you took two. Cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve. I was one off, and if I chose ocho, I'd be one off again.
I'm liking the higher egg production. Yeah, Moose, we're liking the higher egg productions. Thank you. Did you boys eat all your hay? Looks like you might have. You guys are like the girls. You like to stand where I need to walk. Go for it. You boys should be out there eating the brush. You don't venture off your hay feeder, do you? They have all that brush over there. You think they'd be over there eating it all up.
Hello, what would you like?
I'll take a large coffee frap.
Okay. Large?
Large.
With any toppings on top?
Homemade whipped cream from goat's milk.
Okay.
That's a pretty nice ice cream stand you got in there.
Yeah.
How's my shake supposed to fit through?
So, when it goes through one of the holes and it shrinks. Ready?
Then it expands when it comes back
Yeah.
out? Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you. That's the best coffee shake with goat's milk whipped cream I've ever had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, we're closing up.
See ya. The dogs want to know where their ice cream is.
Oh, well, they're gonna have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow. They closed up. You spoke too late.
Yeah.
Nope, no ice cream for goats. Nope,
Not yet.
no goat ice cream. She hasn't mastered that one yet.
Wait, I gotta be the leader. Guys, gotta wait.
Pluto, stay down here.
Who's that? Maggie. Help me.
Here you ladies go. Little peas running around.
Don't give up, there's rest for your weary soul. And time to heal, yet still you fight with what you're told. And hold on to your scars and wounds and past.
Gina's everything but the kitchen sink soup was delicious. Man, it had so much flavor. I think sauteing up the cabbage for a little while with the onions and garlic, just put it over the top. It's just something she does lately with soups. She just kind of goes through the sink, not the sink. She goes to the refrigerator and finds out what we have and makes something up using our homemade bone broth. And man, it is so good. Such a good treat to have on a cold day. Speaking of cold days, when it's below zero, you learn a lot about your homestead. We learned a lot about the chicken coop and how we can improve it. And I was thinking, I'm not sure if the spool got wet and frozen, or if the door wasn't able to lower down all the way because there's ice under it. If that kept it up higher, so when it tried retracting the next morning, if it kind of like jumped track and just made an extra loop, and that was the issue. Either way, it was a super easy fix. I hope you guys, if you have one of those chicken guards, if you have an issue, I mean, that thing was so easy to repair. It took me 2 seconds, and I could have done it outside if it wasn't so cold. It was such a crisp day out today. So there's always something to learn. I think that's one thing I try to remember is, even in the worst of times, like, what's a lesson I can learn out of it, or what's something I can learn for the homestead to better ourselves for next time. So I always try to look through life as a learning experience, and that way I find I don't get down if something doesn't work out. So thanks for coming along on our journey with us, guys. You were a huge blessing to us in our homestead, and we'll see you right back here in the next video at Lumnah Acres.